Hello, I'm Connor Doherty from Solidigm. Today I'm here with a very exciting guest, Yann-Gueric Manak from Scaleway. Yann-Gueric, would you like to take a moment to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about how Scaleway stands out in the European cloud market?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Connor, for having me today. I'm Yann-Gueric Manak from Scaleway, and I'm the head of hardware R&D and part of the office of the CTO. And I would say Scaleway kind of is in the European cloud market as a bit of a challenger, obviously, but we have a very strong proposition today, and I would say we cover nearly every basic bricks that we need on the cloud, from the compute to the network to the storage and everything that is tying in all of together, and also a bit of AI. A lot of people are going to use multiple cloud to use their strengths around, and we have a very strong product as well to be able to tie in all of that cloud in a single control plane and being able to address everything.
Great. So let's talk a little bit about what Scaleway are doing with AI. We know AI data pipelines are very complex. What is it that Scaleway are doing to simplify that in that very complex AI data pipeline?
Yeah, for a start, let's talk a bit of what we do around AI at Scaleway. I would say we have two different swim lanes of what we do. The first one is really in the cloud side. With GPU, you get 1, 2, 4 cards, 8 cards of GPU, H140 and with that you are able to do a bit of training and a lot of inference around. And there's the other part of it, which is the big cluster, I think thousands of GPU, very tightly interconnected and very heavy on the data needed around. And for the AI data flow, it's very complex data flow, to be honest, around from harvesting the data when you are going to get insane amount of data and so many data to sift around and being able to find what's really going to be the data that you are going to train on. Not an easy task and very big data, but around, and after that you are going to use that very deeply curated data to be able to do your training around and being able to use that data to create your model, to feed your model around. That need to be very high speed on the storage for reading the data as well, for writing all of the checkpoint of the model around. And after that, obviously, you need to be able to get your model out and being able to use your model, because if you're just training model for the fun of it, it doesn't make sense. It's just burning money.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
And for all of that, there are different storage needs, different storage way of doing things. And at the end of the day, at least in my opinion, and you kind of need to keep all of the data and be able to archive that somewhere. If at some point somebody is going to do a claim on some of your data, you need to pinpoint exactly that's the data that did that claim, or that's the data that did exactly that around. And it needs a lot of data, from kind of cold, warm-ish when gathering the data, very cold when getting everything in storage for it, to very hot when you are going to train. Every single step need different hardware, different way of doing things around the data.
Now, one of the great benefits of Scaleway is you run your data centers on completely renewable energy. So can you talk a little bit about, how important is sustainability, particularly with large-scale AI deployments?
It's obviously a key concern. It's for me personally, the company and the group, Iliad Group, that owns Scaleway, it's something that is key to our commitment to be able to say that we are also doing something for the planet as well, because at the end of the day, we just could burn charcoal and do AI with that, but it makes absolutely no sense around everything, and it's very key, and we have a lot of innovation today existing. DC5, the data center where we have quite a few of our AI pods, there's no forced cooling, there's no AC, everything is free cooling, adiabatic cooling, that enables to be able to reduce the PUE quite nicely rather than doing it usually. And we are going to do a bit of very interesting innovation in the next data center for liquid cooling, because at the end of the day, everything and every TDP of every component is growing lots and lots, and we need to go that way as well. And we are going to go that way the same way that we did DC5, being intelligent enough to be able to do something the right way and be able to have the smallest PUE as well as WE, because not a lot of people are talking about the water used to cool the data center, but it's really a deep concern of us as well.
What can you tell me about how you see the AI data demand evolving at Scaleway, and how is Scaleway best tackled to adapt to that? And where do you see the next generation of AI?
Yeah, I would say the data demand of AI is going to grow more and more because, let's face it, most of the models today are trained on what is the text base of internet, but it's not going to be the future of what we see on a lot of models today. There's a lot of more multimodal agentic system and model. You are going to need more data, more specific data, images, video, audio, and so on and so forth. And that is going to increase a lot the amount of data that you are going to need to be able to train that model. I would say for training is obviously the pod training that we have. It's hundreds of gigabit per second, 1,000 if not, and it's really needed because at some point you need to be able to feed all of the GPUs, and the more GPU you have, the more you need to be able to feed them to do something correct around that. And as well, I would say all of the other offerings that we have on storage are interesting as well.
Where can our viewers go to find out more?
Scaleway.com, the website, that's all of the information, all of the product, and everything of what we do.